Hello and welcome to VR Reviews. Today we'll be doing a comparative review of the art's Wargreymon. So yes, here we have the reissue of the original D-Arts version. And then here we have the original designer's release, which was a repainted and reissued version of the D-Arts Wargreymon. There's honestly not a lot of difference between the two, but they are different enough that you may want to take a look at them and decide for yourself which one you think looks better. I personally don't really care that much, but it's something worth doing. So let's go ahead and zoom in for the sculpt paint details, all of those sorts of things. Alright, starting off with a quick size comparison. Of course, here we have both of our Wargreymons. Here's our standard Marvel Legends 6-inch Cosmic Armor Iron Man and 3 3/4-inch Marvel Universe Wolverine. Of course, both the Wargreymons are the same size. It'd be weird if they weren't. They're both smaller scale than American 6-inch scale figures, and of course much bigger than a 3 3/4-inch scale. Let's get everything else out of here and just look at the Wargreymons. Alright, moving on to our 360 spin. As you can see, both of our Wargreymons are armored in silver and gold with red accenting. They of course have their big claws, and they are removable if you want to just use regular hands, which I don't really remember Wargreymon ever doing, but that is an option for the figure anyway. Big clawed feet. You've got musculature on the arms and legs. He's got his big shield thing on the back there, which has some purple on the inside of it. All in all, pretty standard detail, and all certainly looks like Wargreymon. The main difference between the two is that the colors on the original Designer's Edition one are a tad bit darker and more reflective and sort of vibrant looking, and then his skin tone has got a lot more shading and variation in the orange. The base of it's darker, and it has sort of a even darker orange brushed on top of that. The original Designer Edition, I think, does almost objectively just look better, but not substantially, and probably not enough to justify the price differential. But I do think that it looks better in general. Now let's go ahead and zoom in on the head sculpts. Head sculpt-wise, of course, Wargreymon has his sort of helmet with the 3 horns. He's got really nicely detailed eyes, and then he has the tuft of red hair coming out of the back of the helmet. For the most part, the two heads look very similar. The original Designer's Edition, once again, is pretty much just a darker version of the original. The silver's a lot more sort of gunmetal-y, and the eyes are a little bit darker, and the red and the hair is a lot more vibrant and reddish looking. So, all in all, not a massive difference, but I still think the original Designer's Edition looks a bit better. Let's go ahead and zoom out and look at some articulation. Articulation-wise, obviously the articulation's the same on both of them, so I'll just be showing you on the regular version here. He has a little ball peg in the head, so that goes forward and back, in and out. And he also has a neck joint below that, which adds for some extra movement. Shoulders go up and down, in and out, rotate around on the joint, and the shoulder pads also move up and down. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbows, wrist hinge and rotation. He's got a ball peg in the upper abdomen and one below that in the waist. His little skirt flap things are on little hinges. Hips drop down, move forward and back, in and out, rotate around on the joint. Double jointed knees, and then he's got hinge and pivoting in the ankles. And he also has little ball pegs on the back for his shield flaps. So you should be able to get him into basically any pose that you want to. Now let's go ahead and move on to some accessories. Accessories-wise, they both just come with their Terraforce effect. The original version is actually the darker version this time. It's got a lot more red in it, while the original Designer's version has a lot more gold and sort of orangish colors in it instead of the darker red color. I honestly don't even have a preference between the two. They both look cool. They're a bit small for Terraforce, obviously, but they work as sort of a starting off charging point. They have little notches on the sides of them so you can slip them in between his big metal claws for him to hold it. Now that about wraps it up for our Wargreymons and all of their accessories, so let's move on to the packaging. Packaging-wise, they do come in 2 completely different versions of packaging. The original D-Arts comes in a window box, which is pretty similar to other Figure Arts and D-Arts kinds of releases. Window, D-Arts along the side, Wargreymon, picture of the figure on the bottom. And then the other one comes in a completely enclosed box, which has a big picture of Wargreymon on the front that says Wargreymon Original Designer's Edition, and it's got a bit more artwork to it. And on the back there, a similar concept, but they're laid out differently. They both have pictures of the figure and little descriptions and all those sorts of things. The original box is good for in or out of package display. The other one is pretty much only good for out of package display. So take that as you will. So yeah, Wargreymon. Alright, that wraps it up for our Wargreymons. So until next time, goodbye. Thanks for watching one of my videos. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like the video or subscribe if you would like to see my future content. If not, run away. Run away and never return. Also, feel free to support me on Patreon at patreon.com/vrreviews, follow me on Twitter at venomraptor09, or follow me on Instagram at instagram.com/vrreviews. Thank you, and goodbye.